Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. Today I come to you from the grounds of Sydney University on this Sydney autumn morning, and what I'd love to do today is go through an old classic, and the book that I've selected for today's episode is entitled The Chronicles of Narnia, a book that was authored by C.S. Lewis and published between 1950 and 1956. One of the beautiful things about going through books and delving and absorbing other people's experiences and deep thought is I get to read and to present a book that was published before I was even born, which allows me to live longer because I get to live previous generations. So this novel by C.S. Lewis narrates the Narnia world's creation and acts as a preface to the Chronicles of Narnia. Lewis combines profound spiritual ideas and Christian allegories into this engrossing fantasy story via the adventures of the kids, Diggory and Polly. So let's see what we can learn. Let's see what we can take from this classic and incorporate into our inventory of skills, knowledge, wisdom, and patterns. So the first key message to come from this book is that we need to be cognizant of the dangers of excessive curiosity and disobedience. In this book, Diggory's uncle's meddling with magic leads to disastrous consequences due to his prideful inquisitiveness. Sometimes curiosity in and of itself is ego-driven, and this book highlights that you need to be cautious in terms of your curiosity, so that your curiosity doesn't lead you down rabbit warrens where you end up losing yourself and damaging your spiritual guide and your spiritual energy in your body. Be careful what you read. Be careful who you hang out with, because as we're saying, sometimes it may work and it may lead you to a better place, but there are other times where it may work in reverse and cause irreparable damage. And leading on from that, the next key message from this book is that we need to consider resisting ongoing temptations in our lives. Both Diggory and Polly faced whispered temptations from Jadis, the queen of the Underland, which test their ability to make moral choices. The reality is that throughout our lives we will be tested time and time again And we need to understand that some of these tests, if not checked, may lead us astray. It doesn't take much to lead you onto the wrong path, because, as a friend of mine once said years ago, one thing leads to another, and then before you know it, you're in a place and you become a person that you no longer recognise. And this leads us to the next point, where we try to understand the message that there is a spiritual warfare, and it is absolutely real. And this book depicts an unseen realm of spiritual forces, both evil, as in the Queen, and divine, as in the lion Aslan. We need to accept and to appreciate that God is the sublime creator. Aslan's song brings the new world of Narnia into existence, highlighting God as the source of all creation. And with that, mankind has an important role. Humanity's role is to be a steward of creation. And in this book, Diggory is given responsibilities by Aslan to care for and protect the young Narnia. The author also delves into and discusses the importance of sacrificial love as being redemptive. And the message here is where we look at Aslan's willingness to be mocked and killed in order to protect Narnia, which once again models Christ's atonement. This book also teaches us and talks to us about the hope of new beginnings. Narnia springs forth fresh and new, symbolizing redemption and restoration after the fall of Diggory's uncle. We also learn about the moral origins of evil. Jadis's pride, deception, and self-centeredness are portrayed as the root causes of evil entering the new world. And the last point to come from this book is where we are reminded that we need to maintain our faith amid uncertainty, and to understand that faith can only exist when there are elements of doubt. In this book, Diggory and Polly must exercise faith by trusting Aslan's guidance on their bewildering journey. So, once again, a wonderful book, and we need to consider continually that in our world today, evil seems to be prevailing, but it will be short-lived. So thank you for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club, where on this magnificent morning I come to you from the main quadrangle here at Sydney University. Take care, yassas, and bye for now.